You ever catch yourself wondering, like, am I good enough? We all want to be good, right?
Right.
But it's like this moving target,
Yeah.
you know? Are we talking about just like checking things off a list, racking up good deeds?
Yeah.
Or is there something deeper going on here?
Yeah.
Get ready to dive into some seriously thought-provoking stuff today.
Okay.
Because this episode might just like totally flip your script on this whole idea of being good. Especially for those of you out there who, thought you had it all figured out.
Yeah.
Today's deep dive takes us into a sermon excerpt from Chuck Smith.
Okay.
And get this.
Yeah.
He spends the whole sermon, unpacking just one Bible verse.
Really?
Philippians 3.9. Now, you don't usually devote like a whole sermon to just one verse.
No.
Unless it's packing some serious punch.
Right. You're right on the money with that observation.
Yeah.
What's captivating here is how Smith dives straight into the heart of the matter, yeah. That almost universal human struggle to be good enough.
Yeah.
And he doesn't hold back. He points out that even those who appear to be living good lives,
right,
meticulously following religious rules, they might still be missing a fundamental truth.
So it's not just about outward actions.
Yeah.
I'm already intrigued and maybe a little nervous about where this is going.
Exactly. Smith draws this powerful distinction between outward righteousness, the kind we display for the world to see, and true inward transformation.
Okay.
He uses this incredibly vivid analogy. Imagine polishing the outside of a cup.
Okay.
Until it gleams, Yeah. But neglecting the filth inside.
Ooh, okay. Now that's an image.
Right.
That's an image that's going to stick with me. I can see where he's going with this. It's like you can look the part.
Yeah.
You can say all the right things. You can even fool yourself into believing you're good.
Right.
But if your heart isn't truly changed, well, that's like hiding a dirty secret.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Smith suggests that this outward righteousness can actually become a dangerous trap. It can lead to self-righteousness,
right,
thinking we're better than others. Yeah.
Or even worse, believing that our goodness somehow earns us God's favor.
Okay.
But that's not how it works.
Okay. I can feel the tension building already.
Right.
You're telling me that all this effort to be good enough might leave for nothing.
Yeah.
I need to hear more about this inward transformation.
Yeah.
Because frankly, the idea that simply checking off the good person boxes might not cut it.
Yeah.
It's a little unsettling.
It's a challenging concept for sure.
Yeah.
But this is where Smith's message takes a turn towards hope. He doesn't leave us hanging with this dilemma.
Okay.
He offers a radical solution found in the heart of the Christian faith.
Okay, now I'm really on the edge of my seat here.
Okay.
What's this radical solution Smith's talking about?
He calls it imputed righteousness. Imputed righteousness. Okay, I'll admit that sounds a little intimidating. It's not exactly like a phrase you hear every day.
Right.
Can you break that down for us? What does that even mean?
Absolutely. Think of it this way. Imagine you're facing a judge in a courtroom.
Okay.
And you're guilty. You broke the law, and there's no way around it.
Right.
But then someone steps in, someone who is completely innocent.
Okay.
And they take your punishment for you.
Wow.
They're declared guilty, even though they did nothing wrong.
Right.
And you're declared not guilty because of what they did.
Okay.
That's kind of a glimpse into imputed righteousness.
Wow.
It's like Jesus steps into the courtroom for us,
right,
takes the penalty for our shortcomings, and we receive his perfect record in exchange for our flawed one.
Wow. Okay, that analogy makes it much clearer.
Yeah.
So it's not about striving to be perfect on our own.
Right.
It's about receiving the perfection of Christ.
Yes.
As a free gift.
Exactly.
Wow.
And this is where Smith's message gets incredibly powerful. He's saying that we can stop exhausting ourselves trying to earn our way to goodness.
Right.
Because true righteousness isn't something we achieve, it's something we receive through faith in Jesus.
That's a pretty radical idea, right? It kind of turns everything upside down.
It does.
Yeah.
And Smith ties us directly back to the Christmas story.
Okay.
He gets really passionate about this point, emphasizing that Christmas is about far more than a cute baby in a manger.
Yes.
Mm.
He uses some incredibly vivid language to describe this.
Yeah.
I remember him saying something like,
Yeah.
he became what we were to make us what he is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Smith wants us to grasp the sheer magnitude of Jesus' sacrifice.
Right.
He wasn't just a visitor who popped in for a bit.
Right.
He fully embraced our humanity
Yeah.
with all its flaws and limitations so
Nice.
that we could share in his divinity.
Right.
It's mind-blowing, really.
It is. It's like this incredible exchange happened.
Right.
He takes on our imperfection,
Yeah.
and we receive his perfection. It's almost too much to comprehend.
It is.
But if that's true, if we're already declared righteous
Mhm.
because of Jesus,
Yeah.
does that mean we're off the hook
Mm-hmm.
in terms of trying to live good lives?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's something Chuck Smith addresses head on. He
Yeah.
doesn't shy away from the implications of this radical grace.
Okay, so what does he say? I'm on the edge of my seat here.
He argues that this understanding of imputed righteousness doesn't give us a free pass to live however we want.
Yeah.
It actually transforms our motivation for doing good.
Well,
We're no longer trying to earn God's favor or
Right.
prove our worthiness.
yeah.
Instead, our good works, they flow from a place of gratitude
Right.
and love for what Christ has already done for us.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like when you truly grasp the depth of love and sacrifice that went into this righteousness exchange.
Mhm.
It changes your whole perspective.
Yeah.
It's no longer about checking boxes,
Yeah.
but about living a life that reflects the heart
Right.
of the one who made it all possible.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's less about look how good I am,
Right.
and more about look what amazing things God has done. How can I possibly live a life worthy of such a gift?
Okay. Wow. I'm going to need a minute to process all of this.
Yeah.
This episode is really challenging some of my deeply held beliefs
Yeah.
about what it means to be good. So if this whole idea of treated righteousness is true,
Yeah.
how does that change how we view like our everyday efforts?
Right.
I mean, does it make us want to just like give up
Right.
trying to be good, or does it motivate us in like a completely different way?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a question that has challenged theologians and believers for like centuries.
Yeah.
And I think Chuck Smith would say that the answer is it's far from simple.
Okay.
It's not about either or.
Okay.
It's about both and.
Both and.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Break that down for me.
So on the one hand,
Yeah.
understanding this imputed righteousness,
Okay.
it frees us
Yeah.
from this constant pressure of trying to earn God's approval
Right.
through our own efforts.
Right.
We can rest in the fact that we are already
Yeah.
seen as righteous in God's eyes
Yeah.
because of Jesus.
That's incredibly freeing.
It is.
But I can see where the both and comes in.
Right.
It's not about just like kicking back and saying,
Yeah.
well, I'm off the hook now.
Exactly. You
Right.
got it. It's this beautiful paradox.
Okay.
While we're already fully accepted and loved by God,
Right.
we also have this deep desire
Yeah.
to live lives that are pleasing to him.
Right.
But our motivation shifts. It's no longer driven by fear
Right.
or obligation,
Right.
but by gratitude and love.
So it's less about look at how good I am,
Exactly.
and more about look what incredible things God has done for me.
Yes.
How can I possibly live a life worthy of such a gift?
Exactly.
Right.
Our good works, they become an overflow of the transformative work that Christ has already done in our hearts.
That's a game changer, isn't it?
It is.
It's like this whole concept of like being good.
right.
It takes on a whole new meaning.
It does.
It's not about checking boxes
Yeah.
or like climbing a ladder
right.
to reach some unattainable
Yeah.
standard of perfection.
Mm-hmm.
It's about reflecting the character
Yes.
of the one who already made us perfect in his sight.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's a journey that lasts a lifetime. It's about continually surrendering to God's transforming power.
Yeah.
Allowing him to work in us and through us.
Yeah.
To accomplish his purposes.
This deep dive has given me a lot to think about.
Yep.
It's challenged some of my deepest assumptions
Yeah.
about what it means to be good
Mm-hmm.
and how that should look in my everyday life.
And that's what Chuck Smith wanted to do.
Right.
He wanted to push people beyond superficial notions of righteousness
Right.
and point them towards the radical, life-altering truth of the gospel.
And on that note,
Yeah.
we'll leave you to ponder these questions a bit more yourself.
Yes.
This is one of those deep dives.
It is.
That stays with you long after the episode is over.
That's right.
What does it truly mean to be good?
Mm-hmm.
And where does our motivation for doing good come from?
Right.
These are questions worth wrestling with.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deeper.
Yes.
Into the heart of what matters.
Thanks for listening.